Hey YouTube, how you doing? This is Techxtremist. Welcome to In the Tech News in collaboration with Tech Life channel. You will see some of my videos on his channel and you will see some of his videos on my channel. That way you can get the best content, and to get exclusives from both, make sure you subscribe to Tech Life channel and to the Techxtremist. All right, there will be a link down in the description area on my channel for both channels. All right, so we do have this article here from fiercewireless.com. The US wireless business is in a funk, but 2022 should be a blockbuster year. All right, so he's saying that 2021 hasn't been that exciting. All right, we had a few things happen. We had the Time Warner split, whatever it was called, and that was pretty big news, but it wasn't anything like 2021. All right, that Sprint T-Mobile merger, now that was huge. That was some big news, and it got approved in 2020, and now we're starting to see the results of that. N41 is going nuts. All right, T-Mobile is putting it to use like Sprint never could, so it's making a huge difference. Personally, I'm loving the way T-Mobile is performing. All right, so 2022 is probably gonna be a lot more exciting. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit here. In 2022, you're gonna see the cable companies trying to reduce their dependence on Verizon. All right, Verizon Wireless has almost all the cable companies in their pocket. All the cable or most of them are using Verizon as the provider for their MVNOs. Now that's good news for Verizon, but it costs the cable companies more money than it could if they had their own networks. Now some of these cable companies have their own spectrum, in case you didn't know. All right, so what I think is going to happen is they're going to try to offload these users more to Wi-Fi and to some of their own spectrum in order to reduce costs on Verizon. It doesn't mean that they're going to go away from Verizon completely. They're just going to try to reduce their dependence on Verizon. All right, that's what I think is going to happen. It makes a lot of sense. These companies are in it to make money. So right now, as they have built their user bases on wireless, the next step is to try to get as many off of them off the Verizon network. All right, or as many of them off the Verizon network, and it's going to be a good business decision on their part. Maybe not so great for Verizon, although with the upcoming TracFone merger, it might not matter to them all that much. All right. The other big thing that's going to happen in 2022 is a 3.45, 3.55 gigahertz auction. Now, what's going to happen is every bidder is going to be limited to only 40 megahertz in order to allow more people, or at least that rule is set so that more people can bid and get 40 megahertz, or at least get some of the spectrum, instead of one company coming in, bidding for most of it, and that's it. So what I think is going to happen, I think AT&T is definitely going to go for the 40 megahertz. T-Mobile and Verizon, they'll probably go for it, but I think it's going to be much more important and much more likely that AT&T gets 40 megahertz, all right? It would make absolutely no sense for T-Mobile and Verizon not to try to get it, but they might think that it makes a better sense to not go for it. All right, they might be better set, at least in their minds, by not spending the money. So we will see what happens there. We will definitely keep track of that. Of course, the other big thing that might happen is the TracFone, or it's probably going to happen. TracFone Verizon deal. All right, that's probably going to get approved. Some of the recent concessions that were made were actually pretty good. All right, they told the FCC, hey, we're going to keep the lifeline for another 3 years. Now, personally, I wish it would have been 6 years, but it is something. It is a start. And a lot of the trade groups and unions, whatever, were satisfied with that. And if they are giving it their blessing, then it's very likely that the FCC is going to see it that way as well. All right, so that's probably going to add like another 10 to 20 million users to Verizon. It's going to be huge for Verizon, and it's going to put them solidly in the lead for overall subscriber counts. Another big big, huge thing that might happen in 2022 is billions from Congress from infrastructure spending for the wireless carriers. That is huge. Anytime that you get the opportunity to get billions in order to expand, especially if it's rural coverage, it's going to be big for the carriers. You might see more home internet or fixed wireless home internet opportunities. And of course, just more coverage overall, which is very good for rural because, as you all know, in today's economy, you simply need internet to fully participate. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. And if you're rural and can have good internet access, then it might put you on equal footing with someone that lives in the city, which would be good for the economy overall, all right? Dish is going to ramp up. And Verizon is also going to ramp up their C-band expansion, as well as AT&T. That's going to make it interesting. As for Dish, if they play their cards right, if they do everything the smart way, they could become the next Un-carrier. We have talked about this in other videos. Put Sling TV on your plans. Make the plans attractive. Don't charge too much. Include taxes and fees. Make simple plans. Maybe only 3 plans and that's it. A lower end, a mid-range, and a high-end plan. Don't go bananas. Don't have 26 plans. All right? Kind of like Verizon. If you think about it, Verizon has a bunch of plans, including shared data. But anyway, don't do that. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS, right? Remember your mom used to tell you that when you were growing up? That is a big thing. If you keep it simple for the consumer, include taxes and fees, put some Sling TV on it, put that cherry on top, they might just sign up. All right? Make it competitive. Put out a decent network, but you do have that AT&T network to rely on for quite a while. And then as for Verizon, the C-band, that's going to be huge. All right? If Verizon does manage to get their C-band out in 2022, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a game changer, considering that they are using millimeter wave and they're going to use C-band, $10 billion, by the way, on top of that. Now, personally, I'm kind of concerned. And the reason is because today I drove around all over Phoenix and I didn't find a single new install of C-band. Now, it could be that this is not a priority market, but this is a top 5 city in the United States, according to the latest census. Or it could be that I just hit all the wrong spots, although that's unlikely. But I also didn't see any C-band, or I saw very few C-band installs in Los Angeles. If they're planning a first quarter 2022 launch, I don't know. It's getting hard to believe that that could happen. They might have a flurry of activity in the next few months. That could happen. But man, they're going to have to go bananas, all right? They're going to have to go bonkers in order to get it everywhere because as it stands, I just don't see it, all right? And then, of course, AT&T and T-Mobile are going to continue their, or at least AT&T is going to start, and T-Mobile is going to continue their mid-band deployments. T-Mobile N41. I am becoming a believer, all right? This N41 is working out really well for T-Mobile. They're deploying 100 megahertz in LA, here in Phoenix, down in Tucson. And it's providing some really good performance, all right? And the crazy part about it, and I know Terrell 352 or Mobile Master Tech, he's going to be very happy that I'm saying this. They don't even have their backhaul all the way up. They still don't have backhaul fully turned up. When they get that backhaul fully turned up, it's going to go bananas. All right? It's going to go crazy. And it's going to put them at a big advantage, at least in the short term. Now, I do believe that when Verizon gets that C-band and as they continue expanding millimeter wave, it's going to put them in the lead. But they better execute, and they better hope that T-Mobile doesn't decide to up their capital expenditures, because then they're going to be left in the dust. That is just the truth. Now, AT&T, I haven't seen a single C-band install in LA or here for AT&T at all. All I have seen them for Verizon here in AT&T, about 12 of them, but I haven't seen any for Verizon, all right? I mean, excuse me, for AT&T. I haven't seen any. Not one. I thought I found one. I texted Tyrone from Tech Live channel. Hey, man, I think I found one. Send a picture. We were both confused because it looked funky. Check out the signal, and maybe it was T-Mobile. It wasn't Verizon. I mean, excuse me, AT&T. It's kind of sad, all right? I was hoping to find an AT&T one, and I was hoping to find more Verizon ones, but I didn't. N41 is everywhere. They're in the future. Everybody else is still stuck in 2016. I'm sorry, AT&T and Verizon fans. That is just the truth. T-Mobile is full steam ahead, and everybody is still stuck at port. Can't put it any other way, all right? Not a single one for AT&T. About 12 here for Verizon. I did see a few in LA for Verizon, but I didn't see a single AT&T one. So next year, 2022, I hope that they both launch C-band at some point, maybe AT&T in the later part of 2022, and Verizon somewhere in the middle of 2022. Maybe at the beginning if they go crazy all of a sudden. That's what's going to make 22 interesting. You're going to have N41 from T-Mobile going bananas. You're going to have C-band from Verizon and AT&T coming online. And it's just going to be all-out war. The speed tests are going to be crazy. All right, I can't wait to be driving around testing C-band and N41. Of course, C-band for AT&T and Verizon, and N41 for T-Mobile. But again, 2022 is going to get insane. Personally, I cannot wait, especially because of the C-band and N41 continued deployments. Verizon's millimeter wave, that auction, it's going to be an action-packed year. But anyway, I really appreciate y'all watching. Hit like, subscribe for Tech Live channel and the Techxtremist. Comment. Make sure you hit that ring notification bell for both channels. You all have a good one.